So today we are going to solve this question that goes by the name submission is all you need. So the question is, for a multiset T consisting of non-negative integers, we define sum of T as sum of elements of sum of all elements in T. It means, let's say this is the array given. If this is the array given, then sum will be sum of all elements in T. And the second one which is defined is max of t. What is max of t? It is the smallest non-negative integer not in t. For example, if this is example, we can say the smallest non-negative integer which is not present in this array is 2. So the max of this whole array will be 2. So these two operations are given. Now you are given a multiset S of size n consisting of non-negative integers. At first, your score is 0. You can perform the following operations any number of times in any order. All right. So we have been given two operations to perform. We can either select a subset from, let's say, if this is the array, we can either select a subset from this array and add them up. It means we can find sum of t, or we can find max of the subset. It means if this is the number, we can find the max of this. If this is the array, we can find the max of this array, which will be 2, and add it to our score. Now, now what you have to find is you have to find the maximum possible score that can be obtained. It means you can do any of these two operations in any order. It means you can do 5 times this operation, or 3 times this operation, or 3 times this operation, 5 times this operation, any number of times in any order. All right. So let's take some example. Let's take this example. Let's take this is the example, or we can take simpler example. Let's say 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 1 second, and 4. Let's say this is the example. Now we can either choose a subarray and take its sum, or we can either choose a subarray or take its max and add the number to the score. So how do we do it? How do we solve this question? Uh, we can take a subarray like this. We can take this subarray. If we take max of this will become 0. It means we cannot take this. If we want to take max, we will take only those numbers where max will be positive. That way it will make the difference. One thing you can notice is, let's say if we want to take max of 0, 1, and 2. So max of this will be 3. Max of this will be 3, and uh, max of this will be 3, and sum of these will be also 3. But let's say if we take 0, 1, 2, 3, max of this will be 4, but sum of these will be 6. It means we would not want to take max of these numbers. We will only we will be taking, you can say, sum of these numbers. That would be more optimal. If we go right 5, 4, 5, 6, and onwards, we can always say that we are going to take sum of these numbers and not max, because if we take sum of all these numbers, that would be greater if we take max of these numbers. Let's say if this is the number, max will be 7, and sum let's say will be s, then sum will be greater than this. Then can we find a pattern here? Can we find a pattern here? We can find a pattern. Let's say if number is 0 or 1, max will be 2. You can say max will be 2, and sum will be 1. All right, here we can take if the number is 0 only, max will be 1 and sum will be 0. So you can see, or if it was 2, then max was 3 and sum was 3. So you can say this is our limit. till 2, till 2, this is our limit. So we can either select this, or we can say that here, here in this case, when it was 0 and 1, when it was 0 and 1, max was 2 and sum was 1. All right, in this case. Or if it was 0, max was 1 and sum was 0. So both of them are similar. The max is 1 greater than the sum, and in this case also the max is 1 greater than the sum. So we can choose all zeros. We can choose all zeros, and instead of all those zeros, we can add ones. You can say we can add ones at each of the zeros. So let's say if the array is like this, 0 0 1 2 3, in this case sum will be 2 plus this 6 will be 8. So the code will be very simple. You can take, initially you can take sum of these numbers, which will be 6, and you can count the number of zeros. You can count the number of zeros, which will be 2, and then add in the score, which will be 8. So code will be simple. If you want it, I can show it to you. Just wait. So this is my code. Here I'm taking input. It is answer. Iterating over all the numbers. Uh, I'm taking the number as input. I have not taken vector because we do not need it. We can just take an input. If here, see this, we are adding t to answer, and if it is 0, here it will be 0. But if it is 0, here instead of 0 we are adding 1. This is, you can say, shortcut way to add this, because in answer we are adding t, and additional to t we are also adding 1 here. If t is 0, then this will be 0, then it does not matter. And here it will be 1, so instead of 0 we are adding 1. Thank you.